Tucking our chin, rolling down through your spine, one vertebra at a time, releasing the tension at the bottom. Then with bent knees, pressing through the balls of the feet, restacking your vertebra one at a time. Let's repeat, rolling down through our spine. Hips move towards the groins, release your hips. Hang out before pressing through the feet to come all the way back up to stand. Let's tuck our chin again and roll back down through the spine. One more time. And now hang out at the bottom here. Release your hip flexors. We have the option to take hold of our elbows if that feels good. You can bring your elbows to the thighs if you need to. It's all good, but allow those sit bones to lift. You'll notice my knees are bent. Now walking our hands into a down dog. Breathe. And when you've found your breath, stretch your sternum forward. So lengthen through your spine. And maybe we have that single focus and come back to the important practice of the breath. Rippling forward into a full or half plank, feel free to lower your knees as we rock forward and back, engaging your abdominal muscles. Tucking the tailbone under can help with that. And then back to our downward facing dog, pressing our thighs back, breathing. And rippling forward into our full or half plank for salsa hips now. Moving our hips from side to side as we keep our abdominal muscles lifting. Navel draws into the spine, upper back in line with the shoulder blades, and back to down dog. Lowering our knees now. And cat-cowing the spine. So exhale, we round up through the spine. And inhaling, concaving through each of the vertebrae. So like we're feeding the spine with the movement. Make it feel really good. And then pelvic rolls. This is an option. Easier to just watch what I'm doing. About 3 or 4 in one direction. And then reverse that direction. Now, if you would like, you can bend one elbow and the other, looking under the opposite elbow as you move your hips from side to side. Left leg extends, right arm coming into some pulses. So horse kick pulses using your arm too, then swapping sides. So keep that squeeze around your shoulder blades and the squeeze in the glute by keeping the navel glued to the spine. Hands and knees to the floor now and coming into our malasana. You can rock forward and back. That's our step 1. Releasing around the hips and the low back, or maybe just sitting in the pose. I'm moving to the side to come into a skandasana now. You can use a chair if you can't lower all the way to the floor. You can be halfway to the floor, leaning into a chair. And then pressing up and over to the other side. And just opening that knee out evenly over the toes. Nothing should hurt around your knees. So take it in stages. If you're new to the shape, try not to force anything. Lunging from side to side now. The foot stays on the floor and you'll notice my elbow is pressing inside the inner thigh to open that knee out. It's really good practice. Then stretch your sternum forward in a wide-legged position, left hand behind the right buttocks, and rotate from the chest. Hips stay facing forward in our twist. And then swapping sides, right hand behind the left buttocks. Keep those hips steady so there's no sensation in the low back. You can bring your hands to your heels. If it feels good, you'll notice I'm bending the knees for a little. Lifting the sit bones up, crown of the head reaches to the floor as we breathe. The breath helps us stretch more. It helps us release the excess tension. Feel free to straighten your legs now and come into a deeper, wide-legged forward fold. Everything's quite quick today. It's just like a warm-up. Stepping back into your down dog now. Quick lengthening of the spine. Before lowering your knees, for your tiger curls from your knees, right leg extends back, exhale, center tiger curl, toes are on the floor. So we really use our abdominal muscles. Inhale, extend that leg back, exhale, cross body tiger curl, toes again are on the floor for this whole sequence. Inhale, leg extends back, exhale, outer body tiger curl. Step that right foot to the right thumb, open the knee, press your hips forward to release your hip flexor. Have a wiggle if it feels good. And then optional, take hold of the back foot. Releasing our quadricep. Before re-squaring the foot and lifting our knee. Rocking forward and back. If it's too difficult, keep the knee to the floor. The breath stays flowing and smooth. And then we find our twist, knee to the floor or not. Feel the squeeze around the spine as we keep the torso close to the knee. Hands to the floor again. Stepping back, knee to knee. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, exhale, round. And then bring your hips towards the floor and stretch the front line of the body. Exhale, we round again. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. And come into a variation of up dog with your knees on the floor. Inhale. Exhale, belly lifts. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, round, unfurling. Inhale, half up dog, knees are on the floor. Stretch the front line of the body. Then lower your chest to the floor, hands under shoulders. Inhale, lift the top chest without pressing into the hands, without using your arm strength. And then maybe press higher into Bhujangasana. You'll notice my elbows are bent to encourage the back to do the work. This is primarily for back strength, not arm strength. Lower your chest to the floor again, and maybe you take hold of your feet, stretching the front of the thighs away. It's just an option. So we're stretching the thighs and knees, and that's what we're doing as we press our pelvis forward. Hands under shoulders. And come into your variation of this shape with the body. You can bring the left leg behind you, the toes to the floor. But the back hand is in a cactus position. And it really is a shoulder release. So notice what I'm doing. Left hand is in a cactus position. Right hand can come to the left buttocks. The toe can come to the floor. But really we're opening around the shoulder and stretching the chest. So find that shape that accommodates you. And then press back up into an up dog with your toes on the floor. It's easier variation. Shoulders away from ears. And then belly lifts back into your down dog. Re-lengthen your spine. Revolve down dog, hand into the center of the mat, or take hold of your opposite ankle. Just find the twist, and then swap sides. Your left hand goes to the center of the mat, or we take hold of our right ankle. Down dog, re-lengthen. And then polar bear push-ups, bending the elbows, pressing through the hands, getting the squeeze in the back as you bend and straighten your arms. Quick little strengthening before lowering your knees to the floor. Send the sit bones back, lift your elbows coming into balasana, and lengthen through your spine, getting the squeeze underneath your shoulder blades. So draw the shoulders away from the ears and really lengthen your back. Find a twist, so it's like thread the needle from child's pose. Right hand, tucks under. And then swap sides, bring your left arm underneath. Your thread the needle variation from child's pose, releasing around the back. Elbows to the floor is the option for our puppy pose. Forehead is another option, or even chin. Make this be a gentle back bend for you. So we should feel a stretch in the front line of the body and a strengthening in the back when we're back bending. Then bringing your hands back underneath your shoulders. Left leg extends back. Inhale, exhale, tiger curl. Toes are on the floor. Inhale, extend that leg back. Exhale, cross body tiger curl, rounding. Inhale, extend the leg back. Exhale, outer body tiger curl. This is great for strengthening. Step that right foot beside your right thumb. Lower the back knees on the floor already. Open the front hip. Press the hips forward and release around the hip flexor. We're releasing around the front hip as well as the back hip flexor by opening that knee. You can take hold of the back foot if that serves you. Again, find your quadricep release, whatever shape you're in. And then release the back foot. We have the option of lifting the back knee, rocking forward and back. So pressing through the back heel as you rock forward and back. And then your variation of a twist. Keep that belly and chest close to the knee and feel the squeeze around your shoulder blades. The back hip can tend to lift without us knowing sometimes, so it can be a good idea to check. Hands to the floor, knee to knee transition. Now, fists on the floor is just a strengthening option. You can place the hands or fists on the floor as you inhale, lengthen. Exhale, unfurl. 1 to 3 chaturangas. Inhale, send the sit bones back. Exhale, rounding up through your vertebra. And 1 to 3. We're keeping our upper back in line with the shoulder blades. And that's why we do the rounding to begin the unfurling. Let's repeat that. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we unfurl. And then our chaturangas. Elbows in. Tuck your elbows in. Inhale, lengthen. Hands are flat on the floor now. Come back to your half plank. You have an option of lifting the knees. Exhale, full or half chaturanga. And inhale, full or half up dog. My knees are still on the floor. Slide back again. Hands under shoulders. Inhale, we lift the top chest with the back strength. And then press into the hands. Draw your ribs down towards your hips. Much harder option, so be aware of that, is to lift one hand and then the other. It's like you're rounding the low back. I know you're not, but your belly is really drawing in like you're rounding it. And please stay in Bhujangasana, Cobra, if there's any unusual sensations in your back here. Keep your shoulders away from your ears and then lower back down, chest to the floor. Squeeze your heels in towards your buttocks and stretch your thighs away again. Inhale, the top chest lifts. And maybe even your knees lift. Notice my hands are not on the floor. So I'm using my back strength. It's a good idea to start with that. Press your pelvis forward. So you're pressing your hips and pelvis into the ground. Lower down. Step 2 option, we take hold of the feet. Inhale, we lift the top chest. And maybe we lift the knees. And pull the feet away to lift the chest more. Bring your head back towards your feet if you can. You can rock forward and back here. Before lowering down, cheek to one side, releasing the tension. And then cheek towards the other side. Just allowing the tension to drain away. Hands under shoulders, rolling over onto our back and hugging our right knee into the chest now. Tailbone is on the floor. And then interlacing hand behind thigh, point and flex the foot. And then evert and invert ankle moves from side to side before drawing some circles for our ankle with our toes. And changing direction. Keep pressing the thigh into the hands even if your knee is bent. It will still release the hamstring. Keep breathing. Now foot to the sky, buttocks to the floor. Bend the knee and sweep the leg across the body into a twist. Lovely long spine, lovely flowing breath. The physical is not more important than the breath. Just remembering that as we swap sides with our knee to the chest, resisting that stretch, flexing the foot. Are you holding the breath? Just notice. Before interlacing hand behind thigh and pointing and flexing the foot. So really nice to get the full range of motion for our ankle joint here in these movements. And then invert and evert, bring your foot from side to side, finding the stretch. Before drawing some circles with your toes for the ankle joint. Keep pressing the thigh forward into the hands, keep breathing. Sometimes we hold the breath when we're focusing on something else. We're trying to keep the breath flowing in our practice. Now foot to the sky, buttocks to the floor, spaciousness in the knee joint. Then both knees in, hands on the knees, some hip circles. And changing direction with those hip circles, a big circle in our hip joint with each of our knees moving in opposite directions. Sorry, not opposite directions. Happy baby, but you know by the video. Happy baby. Now you can bring your hands inside the inner thighs. Keep your low back long. Windshield wiper your legs. So releasing over your hip flexor. This is a great preparation for any physical work or release from work you might have done the day before. And then legs to the sky. So this is our step 1 variation of an inversion. You can bring yourself against a wall or even a chair to support your legs. Moving bridge, so lifting and lowering our vertebra one at a time. Chest moves in towards the chin and then lowering each of our vertebrae. Our heels are in towards the buttocks. We peel our vertebra off the floor one at a time. And then on the exhalation, lowering our vertebra one at a time. We're really bringing the chest in towards the chin at the top and pressing through the shoulders. Moving our spine one at a time, articulating the vertebra is so good for the spine. Now holding if it feels good for you. Keep that buttocks high. It's like there's an elevator pressing the glutes upwards towards the ceiling, the buttocks upwards, before rolling back down one vertebra at a time. Interlace your hand behind your right thigh again, foot to the sky. Maybe your leg straightens this time with the back long, or maybe it doesn't. Then bring your right foot to your left thigh, so like a figure of 4, and release your glute. Keep both feet flexed. You'll notice I'm kind of rocking. That feels really good for me to release the glutes. And then finding a twist. You can cross one knee over the opposite knee, like a twisted roots yin variation or a simple twist. Whatever serves you. Coming back to the center, swap sides with the legs, interlace hand behind the left leg now. Thigh or foot to the sky, buttocks to the floor. Release the tension. And then that figure of 4 glute release. Find the release for your muscles. We're actively pressing the knee away, that top knee away. That will really release around the glutes. Foot to the floor, top knee crosses over bottom knee option to find our twisted roots twist. The back hand is in a half Y shape. We're looking over the back fingers. So it's a really nice twist for everything, including the neck. Then lifting your legs up towards the ceiling for a step 1 variation again of an inversion. Have a wiggle or come into Halasana, plow pose. Now we don't only do this if that's good for your neck. So there's actually no weight on the neck. We're pressing the shoulders into the floor. Depending on your floor, you might need to pad the floor. You might need to lift your shoulders higher. So it can be a good idea to practice this in a class. If you're unsure of, your spine, etc. Or if you're new to yoga, these poses become really simple and comfortable after a while of practicing them. You can have your knees bent to release the back line of the body. And maybe eventually you straighten them, or maybe not. You'll feel the energy move up through the spine strongly. Just keep pressing your shoulders down. Your shoulders stay active. Your top chest is lifted in towards your chin, so your throat is constricted, but your neck stays long. To come out, we roll back down one vertebra at a time. Supta Baddha Konasana option. You can bring the soles of the feet together and have a little wiggle. I'm opening my throat here, so it's like a fish pose variation, to allow the energy to flow in the area where everything was constricted with our halasana. We open and close areas in yoga. Seen to be very beneficial for that area of the body, for our chakras. Now find a full body stretch and release. Before coming into Shavasana, and allowing your body to rest here. Allowing the tension to melt away. And you might find or think, oh, this is a waste of time. Practices of constructive rest help us be a lot more organized and productive. So sometimes our anxiety speaks and wants us always to be doing. Constructive rest is very important. So allow your body to rest, the tension to melt away from your face, from your scalp, from your jaw. Visualize that the tension is melting away from your entire body. And you're even letting go of the tension of breathing, of the effort to breathe. Allow everything to melt away, your body to be heavy and supported by the floor. And allow that breath to come and go like a tide, like you're being breathed. So you're not trying to do anything, you're not trying to breathe. You're allowing the floor to support you and the breath to come and go. Any thoughts that come up, allow them to visit in the same way. Just allow them to come and go. Maybe you note them. But simply become the observer now, just noticing as the tide of breath comes in and out.